everybody who's sitting here has either been a candidate or has been a hiring manager. So what you really want to do, and especially right now, you want to, every single side should be selective to a point. Right now, obviously, the market's very tight. Nationwide, we're at 3.7 in terms of unemployment rate. San Diego's 3.4. Tech is actually at 1.9. So very, very low. Now, why does this continue to be so low, and why is it going to stay that way? Well, the demand continues to increase. This is the biggest year that we've seen in terms of venture capitalists and private equity firms. Even at the end of third quarter, we've already beaten 2017, and it's on track to be the biggest one since the .NET boom. Now, the other thing too is that the education system isn't keeping up, especially here in the States. You know, you're just not getting as many developers as all of these billions of dollars that are pouring into this industry to keep pace. The other thing too, less and less visas are going to be being distributed. So more of that projects are going to have to be done in-house here stateside. So what you want to do is think just beyond the pay when you're a candidate. I always tell people that I'm working with, always have a top 3 that you want. You know, that could be commute, that could be work-life balance, that could be anything from, the technologies you use, team sizes that you want to work with, the project that you're going to work on, the industry that you're going to be in. Because a lot of people within the HR departments, they don't know the tech that they're looking at, that the specs that you're giving them. So make sure you're working with them so they understand what these projects and what these technologies actually do. So they're able to talk to the candidates and get out not only what technologies they do, but how they've actually utilized those in a production environment. Another thing for candidates that a lot of people forget to do is update your resume. Even if you're fully employed, every year you should be updating that, so that way you're picking up the new tools that you've utilized, maybe the projects that you are, because as much as we all want to think that our memories are ironclad, it's safe to say, gentlemen, they're not. They're definitely, so you want to keep staying up to date on those and making sure that you're doing that. Benefits of, well, actually I want to kind of switch over now too, since a lot of individuals here probably are more in the hiring stages of their careers, due to the fact that we only had one person who is looking and one person who is hiring for it. But good engineers, they have a lot of options right now. So you want to make sure that you are a candidate at some point, and you want to show them that mutual respect. They're not there just for you, and you're not there just for them, but they have their own networks. They work with agencies like ours. They get and receive phone calls even if your resume is posted or not posted. And as much as I work on the agency side, and I could say a candidate's not looking at this given point, I can't go to their house and turn off their phone call or to make sure they're not receiving any. So you want to be responsive to that. Another thing that's very big is having a transparent interview process. Nobody really wants to be stuck in limbo, being like, where am I right now? How many processes do I need to go through? What am I going to be actually facing the next time I go into an office? Give them that information up front. It's not like you're giving them the answers to the test, but if somebody comes in and they're sitting across a boardroom and there's 5 individuals on the other side of it, that's a little bit different than, say, maybe a whiteboard test that you're doing, or a test that you're actually having them do on their own. And then of course, you always want to keep that interview process moving too. The last thing people, I know obviously we are always trying to find the best candidate, right? But if somebody has, just about what you're looking for or can get trained up in some of those skills, I really liked what Marshall said in terms of doing like the coding dojos here and really being able to train people up, because a lot of the skills can be learned. And the cultural aspect is becoming bigger and bigger these days in our industry. We spend so many hours with one another. I mean, I spend more hours here than I do with my girlfriend at home. I mean, these are just the facts of our lives. And when you're plugging in 70, 60, 70 hours a week, you want to make sure that you're, working with people that you want to be working with. On that note, giving people proper feedback when they're in these interviews, even if it's negative feedback. I know nobody wants to give negative feedback, but most of the times, that's the feedback that people need the most. Everyone's been told that they're great all the time, but really it's those areas of improvement that are going to help that candidate in their next job interview. And if you were that candidate, you'd want that respect too, right? So that way they're able to kind of improve their skills and go out there and be, a productive member of society and get another job. And a big push that you're going to hear and probably have already is candidate experience. That's really been a big thing in our industry, HR, agencies, whatever it is. You want to make sure the interview process, the application process is simple enough where people are able to get it in quickly and cleanly. You also want to make sure they understand what they're going through while they're doing it. But you want to make sure that they have a good experience throughout, because like we said, like it's as big as the tech community is as small as the tech community is. And everybody talks. And if you go through the rigmarole of some company and then at the end, they don't give you any feedback, they don't even tell you or give anything, and then you're just like, oh, I guess I'm done. They're going to talk to other people about that, and it's going to look negative on your own company, your own team, your own department. And one of the biggest things is just never forget that you are on the other side of that table at one point too. So make sure that when you're going through these process that you just realize that. Just make sure that you treat that other person with respect. Besides that, my name's Christian, and again, I work with Legend Technology here. We're in the UTC area. We cover the greater San Diego market. If you ever need anything, always feel free to reach on out. I'm obviously on the meetup boards as well. Thanks NextGen for having us here this time. Hopefully we'll still have it here next time. I'll just be the one buying the food. So once again, guys, thanks a lot.